Hello, my name is Leanne Hadley, and I'm here tonight to tell you about an idea that I have that families can use during the season of Lent. They're called Sacred Family Conversation Hearts. So, as you know, Lent is the 40 days before Easter set aside for us to pray together and to spend time reflecting on what it means to us that Jesus died for us. And so I thought that a lot of times, we give up something or I don't know, mostly we give up things, or we can take on a spiritual discipline. So I thought for the families in my church and for the families in your church that it might be nice, instead of asking them to give up something during Lent, that they would take on the spiritual practice of being together as a family and listening and creating the sacred space that is there whenever we gather. So I came up with this idea of these Lenten sacred conversation hearts for families. I got the idea because Lent this year happens to be on February 14th. It starts, but it wouldn't matter if it did or not. You can still use this idea. But since it did start on Valentine's Day this year, I was thinking of the conversation hearts that we used to trade as children. And if you can see, I have a little picture. Well, I guess you can't see that. Anyway, there you go. I have a little picture of them on this box and just the title. So what families are going to do is pick up their little box of conversation hearts at the Ash Wednesday service or the first Sunday of Lent or whenever you see your families. And then we're asking our families to go home and spend time each Sunday night of Lent, so there should be 6 of those, each Sunday night of Lent, talking to one another and listening. So what happens is they get home as a family, they light a candle to make the space sacred or whatever, they open their little box, and inside are 6 conversation hearts. You pull out the first one for week 1, and this one says, "My favorite thing about you is." And then I, as the mother, would share my favorite thing about each person in my family. And then I would hand it to the next member of my family, and they would share with everybody else their favorite thing. And so everybody goes around the table, everybody shares what the favorite thing is about everybody in the family. And we've spent time together, we've told each other how wonderful we are, and we've listened to one another. I think that will make Lent much more spiritual than giving up chocolate or something like that. So there are 6 weeks, different questions. And so this question is, my favorite thing about you is. Week 2 says, I felt so proud of you when. Week 3 says, I saw you really try hard when you fill in the blank. The next week says, let's see. One unique thing about you is. The next week says, you are special to our family because. The next week says, I am very sorry for the time that I. And this one, if you do them in order, will coincide with Holy Week, where we look most deeply at the things that we've done wrong and try to get rid of before Easter happens. So this one is sort of an I'm sorry card. It's heavy, but I think it's important that we take time to say, I'm sorry. I remember when I was harsh with you, and I'm sorry. I hope you'll forgive me. I think this is a very important card. And then there's an extra little card for Easter, which simply says, Happy Easter, He has risen. Let's promise to pray for each other every single day of the year. So this is a really simple idea. It should cost you next to nothing to do. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope that you have a wonderful Lent with the families or with your own family. And I just wanted to remind you that I am a United Methodist minister, which makes me Protestant. If you are some other denomination or you have a different faith tradition, feel free to take this idea and morph it any way that you want. Have a great day, and thanks so much for coming. Remember that my name is Leanne Hadley, and if you want to, I have a write-up of this on my website. I also have a link to this video. And again, it's the Sacred Family Conversation Hearts, and my website is leanne-hadley.com. Thanks. Bye.